Welcome to Origin Energy, Tower 1, 100 Barangaroo Avenue, Barangaroo, Sydney 2000. Origin occupies levels 30 through to 32, 3 floors of commercial office space. Reception is located on level 32, open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. There are men's, ladies and disabled toilets located on each floor. Origin's Sydney office is in an agile working environment, with staff allocated to a neighbourhood or hood located within their teams, rather than an individually allocated desk. Agile working aims to facilitate a flexible and productive environment. By creating different working spaces within the office, you'll have the flexibility to choose the right work setting for the day's activities. It also enables formal and informal interactions and collaborations, and supports work anywhere strategies aligned with Origin's flexible working initiatives. As there is a clean desk etiquette, all staff are assigned a conveniently located locker within their neighbourhood to place their IT equipment and personal belongings at the end of each day. Wellness rooms, including the carers' parents, contemplation and first aid rooms, as well as the mail room and a consolidated office stationery cupboard, are all located on level 31. The service hub is located on level 30 in a breakout space. Our office has 5 individual shower rooms, with replicated end-of-trip towel services located on level 31. Tower 1 provides basement end-of-trip facilities, including bike storage, with female and male bathrooms, a towel service, daily and weekly lockers, hair dryers and straighteners. The closest entrance is adjacent to the eastern side of Tower 1. First aid kits can be found in the breakout areas and utility rooms on each floor. Permanent employees are provided 24/7 building and tenancy access. All occupants are required to display their access pass on a lanyard around their neck at all times. This video will outline the emergency life safety features and emergency response guidelines for your building, showing you what to do and where to go in an emergency. This building is equipped with fire smoke detection apparatus, firefighting equipment, emergency lighting and emergency exits. In an emergency, you must evacuate immediately via the nearest emergency exit. This is the alert signal. When you hear the alert signal, you must log off your computer, secure any valuables and documents, and prepare to evacuate the building. Look around for your nearest emergency exit. Ensure whatever belongings you intend to take with you are in your possession now. Do not take anything that may compromise yours or anybody else's safety within the emergency stairwells and exits. Follow any instructions given to you by your wardens. This is the evacuation signal. When you hear the evacuation signal, you must evacuate immediately via the nearest emergency exit. There are 2 emergency exits per floor, which are located at either end of the promenade. Do not use the lifts unless instructed to do so by your wardens. If someone cannot evacuate for disability reasons, move them to an emergency exit and inform the floor warden of their location. If you require extra or specialised assistance, please ensure a PIP form is filled out. The form can be requested from the Workplace Services team. They will forward it to all the wardens and the chief warden. Wardens will check all areas of the building to ensure that everyone evacuates safely. If you discover fire or smoke, RACE. Remove people from the immediate danger area. Alert others in the vicinity of the fire or danger. Raise the alarm, call 000 and ask for the fire brigade. Confine the smoke and fire or other threat of danger. Close all doors behind you and wear practical windows. Extinguish or evacuate. Only attempt to extinguish the fire if it is safe to do so and you have been trained in the use of the equipment. Extinguish applies to small fires only. Manual cool points are historically referred to as a red break glass alarm. These are a manual way for occupants to activate the audible warning system for the site in the event of discovering an emergency requiring the attendance of the fire and rescue. These are operated by firmly pressing on its center and snapping the glass or plastic element. When installed correctly on activation, they will automatically notify fire and rescue. Emergency call points are historically referred to as a white break glass alarm. These are a manual way for occupants to activate the audible warning system for the site in the event of discovering any type of emergency. These are operated by firmly pressing on its center and snapping the glass or plastic element. This type of manual call point, when activated, will not notify fire and rescue. A fire blanket cuts off a fire supply of oxygen, smothering it either permanently or until more effective firefighting equipment can be employed. To use a fire blanket, pull down on the pull tabs. Unfold the blanket completely. Hold it in front of you to shield your body, hands, and face from the fire. Place the bottom edge of the blanket to the near side of the fire. Cover the burning material completely, ensuring there are no gaps for oxygen to reach the fire. Shut off any gas or other fuel or heat supply involved in the fire, and contact fire and rescue department if you have not done so already. If it's fats and/or oil that is involved in the fire, leave the blanket in place for at least 30 minutes to allow the oil and fat to cool. Ensure you keep a clear path between you and your exit behind you. Never let the fire and/or smoke get between you and your exit. Fire blankets are not designed for reuse. It is essential that you dispose of your fire blanket once it has been used. Fire hose reels provide a reasonably accessible and controlled supply of water to combat a potential Class A fire risk. A standard fire hose reel, when fully extended, reaches a length of 36 meters. A control nozzle attached to the end of the hose enables the operator to control the direction and flow of the water to the fire. Ensure you keep a clear path between you and your exit behind you. Never let the fire and/or smoke get between you and your exit. To use a fire hose reel, turn the operating handle. This action will also unlock the nozzle. Test the discharge. Unreel a portion of the hose. Where possible, use another person to assist. Start the water flow at the nozzle. Ensure water is flowing from the nozzle before combating the fire. Warden Intercom Point phones, WIP, connected to the Emergency Warning Intercommunication System, EWIS, allows direct communication between the Chief Warden and the floor wardens during an emergency. These phones are red in colour. Floor wardens should note that lifting the handset of their WIP calls the Chief Warden. Depending on the nature and location of the emergency, you may not be answered immediately. To use an extinguisher, check the safety label to ensure that you have the correct type of extinguisher. These images will assist you. Pull the pin and test. Aim at the base of the fire. Squeeze the operating handle. Sweep from side to side. Only operate an extinguisher if it is safe to do so and you have a clear escape path. When you are evacuating, remain calm and keep noise to a minimum. Do not use lifts to exit the building unless otherwise instructed to do so by your wardens. Follow any instructions from your wardens. Proceed in a safe and orderly manner to the external evacuation assembly area. Do not re-enter the building until given the all clear to do so by the Chief Warden or the emergency services. Your building's primary external evacuation assembly area is Stargazers Park. This is the emergency evacuation path. When making your way to the evacuation assembly area, please walk calmly, safely, and follow the following safety tips. Always use pedestrian crossings when crossing a road. Check for vehicles turning at intersections before you cross the road, even if you have right-of-way. Never cross the road from behind parked or vehicles stopped in traffic. Never assume an approaching driver or rider will stop for you. Avoid using a mobile phone or headphones when you cross the road. When you reach the evacuation assembly area, you must remain there until the all clear is given. Remain in your work group to assist the wardens to account for everyone. Any missing persons are to be reported to your floor warden, the assembly area warden, or the arriving emergency services. Not all emergencies require an immediate evacuation. Some require us to shelter in place. Shelter in place is an emergency response option that allows occupants and visitors to remain inside the building on the basis that an evacuation to an external location might reasonably expose evacuated people to a greater level of danger. In this instance, follow the direction of the wardens. Knowing what to do in an emergency will ensure that your stay in this building is a safe one for you and your co-workers.